Good evening, Gia. Good evening,
Hello,
ma'am.
good evening. Damo ka magalero kabalo dumang ko isa lang mo interview. Okay, we can start if okay na kamo. Recorded ni siya.
Yes, manang. Kay para ni sa nga sa isa ka subject before
Okay.
sila. Dan.
So good evening, Ma'am Zira. Before we begin, we would like to express our sincerest gratitude for sharing your presence and valuable time with us today. So we know how busy your schedule is, and we truly appreciate this opportunity to learn from you. So to introduce ourselves, we are students from West Visayas State University. Um, I am Danica Rosa Natinga, and I am here together with my group mates, Jasper Sarad, Jasalu Ocampo, Jezreel Fernandez, and Rachel Bloron. So this interview is being conducted as a key requirement for our subject ICT for teaching and learning. So rest assured that all information shared today will be used solely for academic purposes. With your permission, may we begin the interview, ma'am?
Okay, you can start. Am I audible lang?
Yes, ma'am. So for our first question, for part one, the background information, can you please tell me your name and the grade level or subject you teach?
Okay, so good evening everyone. My name is Gia L. Santos and I am a secondary teacher teaching English 9 and English 8 at the Light Christian Academy, Barangay Canmuros, Binalbagan, Negros Occidental.
So how long have you been teaching now?
Okay, since my job is still new to me, so I finished the whole academic year. So approximately, I am teaching for about 10 months.
So thank you for your responses, ma'am. We proceed to part two, the use of ICT and assessment, and just Lou will be the one to ask the questions.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good
So
evening.
for the part two, it is all about the use of ICT and assessment. So what ICT tools do you commonly use to assess student learning?
Okay, a little bit of background about the school that I am teaching currently is that it is like a charity school. So most students in that school are part of the marginalized sector of the community where they have limited access to internet, no phones, and even the basic needs for studying. They don't have pencil, they don't have books, they don't have pad papers. So technically manifesting that, you can see that the access to ICT is very limited. But that is where you as a teacher come into place to rescue and to give something in return for those students having limited opportunity. So given that where most students don't have personal phones or access to the internet, mostly we do is pre-downloaded PowerPoint presentation, clips or Microsoft Word basic tools that we can use to allow students to see what ICT is, how does it work, and sometimes we also have video clips or audio clips since considering English is more on the grade 9 lesson is more on literary writing. So we focus more on videos, video clips, audio recording, and most of the time we combine this technological opportunities with traditional methods. I'm sorry. Most of the time, we combine these technological opportunities and traditional methods so that every learner can participate since as what I've told you earlier, very limited lang gid ang amon access. So we try to do whatever means we can, download materials, videos, and PowerPoint presentation to induce learning to the students.
So, since you have already answered, I think um, this one, ma'am. So, we'll proceed to the next question. So, how or can you share an example where you used ICT to assess student learning in a creative or impactful way?
Okay, so since considering we also have computer at school, but those computers sometimes they don't work pretty well, and the internet connection sometimes is very limited. And considering that we have around 500 students, so we cannot actually use the computer at any time. So if we have given free time, I remember one time during my what do we call this, my presentation or my performance task for the student, we have given the opportunity to use the computer in class. So what I did in order to create a meaningful way for the use of ICT is that I told my students that they can search for stories or they can write stories that they love. It can be about the school, it can be about their family, their friends, or whatever they think of. And then what they're going to do is during the class, we will record them. We will record the stories that they made or even the stories that they searched on the internet. And then what we do is we kind of like make a clip using those stories so that it will come to life. So they can, and some of the students they write about their daily journey to school, and instead of just writing them down as what I've told you, we did voice record and then tried making a clip so that it can be like a video incorporating their uh, audio. Many of them, when we played the recordings, they were so excited, of course, because it feels like it's new to them, considering that they have limited access to technology and whatever it is involving technology. So most of them said that it was their first time using their voice and then making a clip out of that, because AI is very rampant nowadays. We can make a lot of videos using AI, and I made use of that in order to capture, the interest of the student. Through that activity, I was able to assess not just their grammar, because of course they are writing, and their vocabulary, but it also allows them to have the ability to express themselves clearly and emotionally through recording their voices. So I think it was one of those memorable activity that I let them did.
I think Jezreel will be the one who'll be asking for the questions for the part three. Yes.
Okay, good evening, ma'am. So, since you have already explained the advantages of using ICT for assessment compared to traditional methods, and you have already given challenges. So, aside from those, ma'am, have you encountered any challenges in using ICT for assessment? And if yes, how did you handle them?
I think Definitely, the biggest challenge is simply the lack of resources. We cannot deny that. A lot of schools lack resources when it comes to ICT, and we still can't fully grasp how important ICT is in our life or in the student's life as we are teachers. So, there are times when I try to plan an activity but then I can't push through it because I know limited ang access namon, and some students don't have phones, so we I always have to think of kaya ni siya ayhan i-push through ko ang amuning activity. Would it be okay? Can the students learn? Can all of them participate considering that a lot of them don't have phones? So it's one of the basic, I think, challenge that ICT uh, nga may encounter naton, the limited resources. Another challenge I think is that some students feel nervous or intimidated when using technology for the first time. 'Di ba? For example, considering my class or my students, sometimes they don't know how to open a computer, and then they get nervous because maybe they might do something wrong, they might erase or delete something. So I think that's one also of the challenge, which as teachers, we need to tell our students and we have to slowly let them adapt and navigate how ICT actually works. Okay, so that's why I always make sure to have, backup plan. Sometimes I transfer to traditional teaching activity na lang because I don't have choice. But that's why I try to imagine how much more can the student I can be productive if we have resources that they actually need. So sometimes those are the sad parts of being a teacher, knowing that your students can do so much more, but then we are hindered by the limited resources that we have.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I really commend your effort. So you're one of the teachers na ano ma'am no, like that those that have a good characteristic of being a teacher. And you're one of the teachers I really look up to. So you have mentioned previously, ma'am, na you use AI for your activities. So how do the students respond to ICT-based assessments? Do they seem more engaged?
Actually, I have students, of course, when we have ICT, it's like a new sight for them. I remember when I first started teaching, I have this motivational activity where even just, the scrambled letters, it was enjoying for them. When in fact, for us, boring na siya because permit na siya magamit for motivational activity or those simple papakot words, guessing game, very enhancing na sila. That's why when we try to use AI, it did make them engage better, but then we have to always remind them of the pros and cons of using AI, since some, of course, most students, they don't really do their work on their own. Sometimes they rely on AI, so we have to remind them all the time that even that aside from it makes them engage even more, we have to always remind them that we have to we don't have to depend a lot of the time on AI. Okay, this is what I always told them. AI is good, but you have to consider, what if AI will vanish or will be removed? Do you still think maubra mo imulubrahon? It's good to use AI, but you have to always remind yourself that if sometimes I also use AI, even as a teacher, I use AI, but then I am confident that if AI will be removed, I can still do my work efficiently. So that's what we told them all the time. So even though it's rare for them to witness that, the excitement and interest it generates stays with them longer after the activity, that sometimes they ask, Ma'am, saan o tapat na liwat? Ma'am, mo naman ta na liwat. So that's why sometimes I feel so sad because I cannot do that every day because it requires a lot of effort. And since we are actually the place where I am teaching is, the signal is very very poor, so it's hard. That's why we try that's why the school we are proposing the school to at least have a Wi-Fi for the teachers so that they can better perform. So I guess that's my answer to the question. I'm sorry if I answered it a little bit longer.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your experiences and your insights. So, for the next sets of questions, it will be asked by Rachel Floran.
So, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
We are now the next part to support and professional development. So, for the next question, so have you received any training or support in using ICT tools for assessment?
Uh, Most of the training I think I have received is from Websugi Jaya because I didn't have actual training or like support on ICT. I just learned it basically I think when I was in junior high school, I learned how to use Microsoft Word. And then when I went to college, of course it was honed there at Websu. So I think if teachers will be given more importance or more trainings on that, I think they have trainings for ICT for teachers, but I didn't really have training for those. I just learned it basically on my own and with the help of some teachers back in college.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. So, for the next question, so in your opinion, so what kind of support or training would help teachers use ICT in assessment more effectively?
I believe that most useful training, considering my situation, would be those designed specifically for schools with limited resources. Like because sometimes I tend to be very nervous. "Oh, what do I do? How do I teach them ICT? How do I make my activity engaging? I don't know how because very limited lang ang resources. And sometimes I get so scared. So if only teachers would have more training or support on how to do those things, on how to navigate trying to put ICT in field or in schools where access to ICT is limited, then maybe a lot of teachers would be very confident that even if you put me in those situation, even if you put me in this situation, I can clearly navigate those. And aside from that, maybe because sometimes some of the teachers, even my age, they don't know how to use Excel. You know, Excel is very important when you're a teacher. Sometimes other forms you don't know how to make. So if more detailed or more secure teaching and training would be conducted, then teachers will be very confident in terms of using ICT for assessment more effectively. I would also like to add, and the teacher should be still more versed with transitioning or even combining what do we call this combining ICT and the traditional method because we cannot always forget the traditional paper and pencil assessment. So I think navigating on those or combining those will post better result in teaching.
Well, it's Rush.
Okay, so ma'am, good evening. I am Jasper Cisarat. So I am in charge for the part five or the closing of the this interview. So first of all, ma'am, I'm surprised or I'm shocked nga may ara gali high school sa Canmoros because actually that is where I was born and wala gid ko kabalo nga may ara gali high school.
I actually didn't
So
know.
I
Yes, go on.
maybe because nagsaylo kami dahil sang kung diin kami ga live or wala lang dito kabalo nga may high school da gali.
I was
So
actually
I'm quite
shocked. I was actually quite shocked also nga may ara gali high school sa Canmoros because it was just recommended to me during my review sang I was supposed to take the board exam last September, but then I did not take the board exam because I feel like I wasn't ready because I was teaching. So it was new to me because when you enter the school, sa high school, there sa Canmuros, it looks like a resort. Look a resort type siya. That's why nakibot ko nga may ano na may high school, and that's why naka very sad sa because the type of school is like to ka charity school. The owner is from abroad, and doka something like doka sponsored school sa where students are sponsored because mga pigado gid ang mga students nga ara dira. That's why na ba kasi nga very limited lang gid nila nga iban gani wala papel, wala lapis. So how much more kung may cellphone pa sila, how much more may internet pa sila. So that's why it's very very challenging for me sa first year ko sa teaching. Okay. Sige, go, go.
Yes, mahamba ko yun naman because kung ara ko da permi do wala ginabi permi signal da, so I have to really find a place where I can have internet connection. So um I'll proceed na lang sa question number 12, ma'am. So thank you for that one casual conversation. So what advice would you give to new teachers who want to use ICT for assessing student learning?
Now, I think one advice is to always remember nga ang technology is just a tool. Wala na siya gina-measure is or it is not a measurement of your worth as a teacher. Hindi ka pwede kahambal nga mas better ni siya nga teacher because sagad siya sa ICT, and hindi ni siya namin nga teacher because hindi siya well-versed sa ICT. May cons because mas ma-engage magiging mo student when there is ICT. But let us always remember or let's go back nga it's just a tool and it's not a measurement of your worth as a teacher or ang success sang imo students sa learning. It solely depends on how you use it also because try to consider using technology but not being a good teacher also. So what will happen? So it takes both to tango. It takes two-person tango man, di ba? Ang nila gani. So dapat you have to be very good with ICT at the same time be a very good teacher as well. Not even if ICT amo gina tell ko always, even if ICT will be removed, you will still be the teacher that you are with or without ICT. And I would like to add, most importantly, never forget the heart of assessment is what? The understanding and support. I think may teacher ito sa website nga nagambal sa amon namong. Do not forget that the heart of teaching is understanding and supporting that child. And that is something we can do beautifully with or without the technology.
Yes, I agree, ma'am, because we also believe that ICT should supplement traditional assessment also. So, is there anything else you'd like to share about your experiences in using ICT in assessment?
I will have to always go back that it is really a challenge for me. During my first year of teaching, I cried a lot because I feel very sad for the students. Because I was thinking they deserve so much better, I could do so much better, but then limited lang access namon for ICT. And sometimes I get so sad because my students will tend to say nga, Ma'am, pwede ko ka-absent anay because maobra ko. That was very challenging for me considering guya nabaw gid ang akong luha sumambal lang sila nga ma'am absent ko because I would like to help my father kay mangdagat kami kan moros is ang bye-bye sila bay. So mang nagat sila, mga isda. So that's why sometimes I only have few students because of that. So ICT, as aside from that, okay, so looking back all these years, I've come to realize the true value of using ICT in our setting isn't just about the better assessment result or more efficient work. It's about, opening doors for the students na maka go away sila from traditional. I'm not saying traditional is boring because it's still the stepping stone or the groundwork kung diin gid kita naghalin sa atong assessment. But then using ICT allows opening for a new version, for a new light for the students And it's about showing our student that the world is bigger than their immediate surroundings, that there's so much more than that, and they too have a place in it. Every time we use technology, even in smallest way, we are telling them that you matter, or your learning matters, and you deserve to experience everything the education has to offer. It has also taught me as teachers that our greatest strength is our ability to love, to adapt, and to find beauty and possibility even in the most difficult circumstances. I'm gonna realize ko sa first year teaching ko that as teachers, we have to be very flexible. Kay aside from a ang teacher, hindi ka naman mag-teacher ka, pwede, mother ka, ano kapag tananda imo guidance counselor ka pa, maawat ka pa kung maaway sila. Teacher is a very tiring but a humble job and a very satisfying job. Sang akong first year nga teaching ko na-realize kung ano gid ba lang maging teacher. Why did I choose to be a teacher? And what is the reason ko nga naging teacher gid ko? And after finishing the first academic year, dira ko na-realize nga ano ka-importante sa ako ng teaching. There are a lot of times that I tend to say nga, hindi na ko, kapoy na ko magtudlo. But then, I always have to go back to the very reason why I started teaching. Because gusto ko makabulig sa mga bata. That's why ang gambal, kuya nga ang teaching is a very hard job. Amo gina akong ginahambal. Because it's a nation builder. Gina-build ang nation kung teacher ka. Kay from teachers, ga-build engineers, doctors, and everything. Nagpalayo na ko. So, kay, it has taught me that teachers is our greatest strength and is our ability to adapt. Kay ma-adapt gid kita kang teacher ka. For example, ibutang ka to bi sa bukid bi kung as teacher ka. Ti syempre amo man ang challenges. Damo pa challenges sa amo na. So, makambal kita nga na-fulfill nato natong job as teacher if we know how to navigate, to adapt sa changes sang ang aton nga teaching and even the curriculum since damo issue subong sa curriculum sang teaching naton. Okay, no matter what tools we have or we don't have, traditional man na siya or technological based man na, what matters is the connection, in the connection is signal or the connection that we build together with our students and the hope we instill in them and the belief we share that they can achieve great things no matter where they came from. So that's why very important para sa akon ICT, and hoping ang aton educational sector magaan niya better opportunities or better resources ang tagsa-tagsa ka mga schools, because the student can do so much better and we teachers can do so much better if magaan kita resources. So amo na the only thing mabako sa inyo is do not rely solely on technology and be confident because ICT can never replace us teachers. Amo lang siya mabako.
Thank you for that answer, ma'am. And for again, we thank you for gracing this interview, and we really appreciate your presence here. And one last thing na lang, ma'am, is we request you to open your cameras still so that we can have a documentation of this interview. Okay, so one, two, okay. One more,
Okay
ma'am.
na.
So,
Ay, wow, wow.
one, two. Thank you once again, ma'am. Thank you for your cooperation po.
Okay na.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Good luck. Eskwela ka mo mayo.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Go
ma'am.
laban.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Yes
ma'am.
po. Pwede ka na po ka-leave, ma'am.
Okay, I leave na ha.
Bye mga best.